All right, so I just pulled up at a appointment that I came to on Tuesday. It is a seller for an investor. We tried to sign documents on Tuesday, and I knew I should have recorded, but my phone was only on 10%. The lady was so rude. They were an older couple, and she was just giving me a hard time. And about 15-20 minutes in, when I finally sat down and, hey, can I collect your ID? The one spouse did not have ID at all. The other spouse, their ID expired in 2017. So I explained to them I couldn't sign their documents. I'm sorry, I have to leave. So after going back and forth a little bit, I finally left. I explained what was going on with the title company. They let me leave. And I came up with a solution to sign their documents again today. So we're going to sign today. I'm going to record it because first I wish I had recorded it on Tuesday. And today would be an awesome example to record because I know this couple is going to give me a run for my money. So sit tight and I'll actually tell them that I'm recording it. So I'm going to have everybody on camera. Or I might, either or. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this yet, but just sit tight. I'm going to record it and just kind of take notes how honestly, I don't even know how this is going to go. So yeah, this is going to be a good one. Sit tight. So thank you.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, I don't like that idea because
So, Rick, did they already explain the situation to you?
He doesn't have his driver's license.
Okay.
He just needs somebody that knows him. I've
Yes.
known him for about 6 years or so,
Okay.
maybe 7.
All right. So because they're trying to sell an ID, did they disclose whether or not they're going to fund without the ID?
they're gonna fund tomorrow.
Okay, so it will fund without the ID. So it looks like, let me make sure. Okay, so
What they're gonna fund today, we'll get it tomorrow.
okay. She did not. Okay. All right, so you're just gonna test that Paul and Ann or who they say they are. There is language. I was hoping they gave me an actual direct. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get an ID from you. Your ID has to be valid and not expired.
Mm-hmm.
When they sign over the deed, they're basically giving their title over to the property, and
Yep.
without a proper ID, they're not, allowed
They
to do
can't
that.
do
Yes. So with your ID, I'm gonna have to take a picture of it, send it to the title company,
Okay.
and we're gonna notarize it saying that you know them, you saw them sign this document, and they are who they say they are.
Okay.
Okay. Does that work for you, Ann and Paul?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right, awesome. Alrighty. So, and want to use blue ink? You have blue ink?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. All right.
I'm an attorney, so
What's your name?
It's Ann with no E.
And with no, okay. That's on all the documents. Let me call. One clean line, but you only have to do it like where she signs.
Okay.
So only on the
Well,
signature line, because that can be adjusted.
Probably be better if it was there, too, I think.
Well, you do it like it should be done.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm just gonna mark that out, and then Paul and Ann will put their initials above that.
But you just put one line through it.
Yeah. And you wanna put today's date on here?
Today is the
24?
24th. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So you've already wrote in the address. And then, Ann, you're just going to initial where he crossed out.
Okay, put, let's see, what would we say? Put, AEC above that.
Okay.
AEC. Right there. And Paul should probably initial that too. Paul, can you put your initials there?
Oh, is that blue or black?
That was blue. That's one you gave her, I think.
That you gave
It
me.
looks black.
It is black.
Okay. And I'm gonna have you use black or blue ink here. You can use this pen.
Well, that's the one you brought.
No, this one's not my pen. Mine say Fidelity on them. It's fine. I'm just gonna put this here so we don't use it.
So Paul, let's see, how we got you here? Paul, Eugene, no, just Paul E. Put P-E-C right beside Ann's, okay?
Okay.
P-E-C.
You want me to do it again?
Well, you got your PEC there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
And you've marked that one out there.
Okay. That's fine. And so, Paul and Ann, you each have your own. And I went ahead and just did one clean line because I know when I tell people to cross out, they'll like scrub it out. Just one clean line. You're going to print in how your name is supposed to be spelled and then initial. And then you'll sign above that line. So you'll sign on the line. Richard, you're going to sign here and print your name right here on this line.
Okay.
So I'm technically notarizing Richard's signature, not Ann's signature.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
And same thing, Paul. I'm technically notarizing Richard's
So
signature,
let's see whose
not Paul's
signatures
signature.
first. Ann's first. So
Yes.
print N right out here, A-N-N, right here, okay?
Okay.
Or no, print it below it, that's
Okay.
A-N-N.
Okay.
Okay, the pen didn't write. Just a second. Hold on. There we go. Let's give it a try again. Make sure you get the A. And then put your initials AEC out here. Now sign your full name. Ann Eden Cecil. Okay, let's see. Then, okay, so Paul's is over on another page.
Yeah, he has
He's
it on a
got
separate
his.
page.
Then I'll just sign right here.
Yes, sir. Okay. So then I'm going to notarize your signature.
Okay.
And then witnessed by is Richard. Or Rich.
Okay, now, yeah, so he wrote Paul Eugene Cecil there, but,
That's fine.
anyway.
All right. And so this is the settlement statement. These are the same numbers from a few days ago. Just make sure nothing's changed, that you're okay with those numbers.
What about the fact that this thing was designed to be closed on or before the 28th? Today's the 24th.
Well, it's on or before, so we're before, so that's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah?
So the amount doesn't change.
No, well, I mean, they got the amounts here, so,
How much is it?
I mean, you're probably talking $3 or $4.
Okay. How much is it?
I don't know, I don't have the promissory note, so I can't tell you how much the difference would be. So it's, usually what happens is you've gotta get a payoff from the mortgage company, and they give you a number that's good till a certain day. And so the number that's probably good for is until February.
28th, yeah.
And so if you get another number, they're gonna probably charge you a fee to give you another number for what the new payoff amount is.
I hope not.
So, but anyway, we just, right now you're gonna get $96,134.31.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna mark out the E here on Ann, and then all you gotta do is sign down here,
Okay.
right there. I'm gonna keep my finger beside it. Yeah, you're right there. Drew,
Oh, there it is.
yeah.
It's just A in it.
You going to the
You
door?
go-
That's probably Josephine, huh?
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and put AEC underneath that where we mark that out, okay?
Okay.
All right, oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Hello.
¿Cómo está, Josephine?
Muy bien.
Bien, bien,
Just
bien,
wait for
bien.
Paul.
Okay.
Paul? You just sign Paul E. Cecil right there, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so this here is an IRS form. The questions on here are going to be a little tricky. So if the property is used as your primary address, it could be true. The way you read them, I'll help you like answer them, but I can't tell you like what answer to put down. And since he's your attorney, he may be able to kind of legally
So
help you.
that address, if they're selling, was not their primary address because they're living here.
Okay.
So how do we?
So how you read it, it's asking. So your TIN is your social security number. So don't say it out loud, but just write it in.
Okay.
And what do we do with that piece of paper?
He's
This
gonna
goes
help
to
you.
Internal Revenue Service.
Yeah, he's gonna help you answer the question.
Okay, so can you write in your social security number right
Yeah,
here?
no, but wait a minute.
Okay.
What I asked was, what are you gonna do with this piece of paper?
I'm not gonna do anything. The title company is gonna hold on to it. It depends on how much money you get back. So if you're getting back over $250,000 as a single unmarried person, they have to report it to the IRS. That's all. That's all they're
Oh,
saying.
they're not. No, we're not. So I'm not gonna sign it. I'm not gonna give it to them.
That it doesn't work that way, ma'am. You have to sign it.
I don't have to do anything, lady. I
Yeah.
don't have to sign any kind
Let's see what it
of
says.
IRS.
Well,
To put my social security number out there for the world to see.
okay. Well, do you want to just check it off without your social security number? You have the option to do that as well.
What do you mean, check it off?
Well, there's
You're
some
gonna have to.
questions
You have to answer. It's a questionnaire.
Okay, so, is this true or false? I own and use the residence as my principal residence for a period aggregating 2 years or more during the 5-year
Well,
period.
just no.
Okay, so that's a false. Okay, then, I have not sold or exchanged another principal residence during the last 2 years.
No.
That's a false.
Well, if she's saying no, she hasn't, then that's true. She has not sold.
She have not sold, so it's either true or false. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said they're tricky how they read.
Yeah, one's
Yeah,
Well, see, my CPA will handle the IRS. We don't, why should I put it through the title company? It's not part of the title of this piece of land.
okay. Well, I mean, you can do it however you like.
But
It's
you're
just a
not- You're not
questionnaire.
putting your insurance, you're not putting your,
Yeah.
you're not putting your number on there, you just have to answer the
It's,
question.
it's just a questionnaire.
Okay, so I don't have to get her to initial that
Yeah.
since I marked it out. So I or my spouse or former spouse, if I was married at any time during the period beginning after May 6, 1997 and ending today, have not used any portion of the residence for business or rental purposes after May 6, 1997.
Have y'all used the property as a rental?
No.
So then it's true. You did not use it as a business purpose or a rental. So
Okay, she used it as a rental, they rented it.
Oh,
Oh,
she
we
just told me
rented.
no. She just told me no. So if you did use it as a rental, then that's
Your check true.
you're gonna say I or my spouse. Let me see. Did not.
have
Did it say
not.
did not? Have not. So
But
that's
you
false.
see, that doesn't have anything
that's
to
false.
do with the transfer of the title of this.
It does
It's
because
it's
the
determined how to
government
tax
has
you.
to know if you used it for, if it was your house that you were selling, then you wouldn't have to pay any taxes on any increase in the value of the property, okay? But since it's a rent house, you have to answer these questions because then you may have to report it on income tax and they need to know about it, okay? Because you may have had a profit on it.
I mean, I can't tell you how to answer. I can just say whether or not it's true or false. But
So this answer would be false.
yeah, if she used it as a rental, it's false.
Okay. At least one of the following three statements apply.
IRS is way of
The
screwing.
sale or exchange is the entire residence for $250,000 or less.
IRS.
So that's true.
IRS had to
Well, I'm assuming it's true. I remember
But it's
she was
not, a,
getting,
it's not a residence.
she got back 96,000. So her gains is 96,000.
I am married. The sale or exchange is the entire residence for $500,000 or less. I am married. The sale or exchange of the entire residence for $500,000 is less. For $500,000, and I intend to file a joint return this year for the sale and exchange. My spouse also used residence as his. I mean, I'm an attorney, and these things are so confusing.
Yeah, they're tricky.
So I better let you ask the questions. I don't want to mislead them.
I mean, I can just ask you, and you can say yes or no. Did you sell it for less than $250,000?
Yes.
That's true. The last three questions are investor-based questions, so I'm assuming, or let me not assume, because there's no additional paperwork. That's why I'm assuming that y'all did not do a 1031 exchange.
What?
Did you do a 1031 exchange at some point for this property? There's usually extra paperwork in here, so
Or you're asking, did they exchange the property for some other piece
Yeah.
of property? No, they didn't.
okay.
do
So
that.
they didn't do that.
Or just got money for it.
There's
right?
there's been no unqualified use, so that's true. And then the last one is another 1031, so that one's not NA. So number 4 is true that you did not sell the property for more than $250,000. You sold it for less than $250,000. It's true.
So all they have to do is have one of them be true.
Yes.
And then she checks off true.
Yes.
True.
Well, which items is that?
And then on number 5, they're
That's
asking.
number 4 is true.
Number 4 is true. Number 5, they're asking about 1031 exchange. So they're asking, I did not acquire the resident in a 1031 exchange. That is true. You did not acquire it in a 1031 exchange. Number 6, there's been no period of unqualified use. To me, that's business purposes. You're a real estate attorney. You might know what this little section, blah, blah, blah is. I just say business use.
So the last two are false.
The last 2 are true.
True.
You did not. That's why I said it's tricky how it reads. You have to kind of read it and then read it again.
Who made this form up?
I have no idea. It is a universal form. It's in multiple lender packets and title company packets. It's probably directly from the IRS or some type of government agency.
So what is qualified and non-qualified?
I'm going to say that's a business, but I don't technically know. And then that's the signature pretty short.
And read through this, maybe it tells me what qualified use is.
And then, Ann, I'm just going to go through this and cross out your name. One clean line. I'll have you initial next to where I crossed out, and I'll write it so you don't have to write it without the E.
Do you have anything to go with this form?
No, sir.
Information?
No, sir. I mean, technically, you're just answering to the best of your knowledge. So if your knowledge is limited, then it's NA, or it's true that you did not.
You probably ought to put it in A here because we don't know what that term means. Can we put in A or don't know?
The only NA option they offer is on number 7, and that's for the second 1031 exchange question.
Okay, can I see these?
Yeah.
Okay, I think that one will be true. So we check there. And then this one. So, her basis, if my basis. So, you know, it depends on if this is correct first. And then you've got to answer the question, the exchange, which section 103 applied occurred more than 5 years ago. So
What occurred more than?
something that didn't happen, period. It's like a double negative, or one could be positive, one could be negative.
Yeah, that one's usually NA.
That's usually what?
NA, not
Okay,
a.
we'll say NA. There we go. Okay, I see the NA there, right over there. Snuck it out to the side.
Yeah, that's the only one that has that option.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't cross out her name on that one.
Okay, so then we got that. I need to put the initial out here because we made a change. So the way we've got it then
Okay.
is we got a false, a true, a false, a true, true, true. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you got, Paul? I don't think
I got
Paul has this. Let's see yours, Paul. So that was true. This is not. Let me see the back page. Okay. Paul, you're gonna need to put your initials beside this one because we marked one out, okay?
Okay.
And put your initials out here because we had to mark one out.
All right, and then you're going to sign the next page.
And then the next page you'll sign right there. And then put your 3 initials out here because we marked the N out, okay? And the E out. No, the N. Hey, Paul, you sign your full name. Paul E. Cecil right there.
Okay.
Now let's see, make sure, which one am I giving here? This is Paul's, okay?
Well, I think those are first switched up.
And then go back this way. It doesn't have the date on it, so you'll need to put the date on
Thank you.
there. Well, yeah.
All right, so this is the affidavit of debts and liens. It's a little easier if I go through and ask you the questions, and then you'll tell me the answer, and then you'll go back and fill it in. Do you have anybody that's renting, staying, or leasing the property that has claim to the title besides the 2 of you?
No,
No? Are there any unpaid debts for water heaters, air conditioners, plumbing fixtures?
no,
Have major repairs in the last 3 to 6 months?
no,
Any loans on the property besides a mortgage, any
No.
tax, HOA, things like that?
No.
No? And any judgments or lawsuits?
no,
Okay. So on every line, on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, you're going to write none. N-O-N-E.
Can I write it for
You
him?
sure can. And then while he's filling that in for you, I'm going to give you the signature page. And I went ahead and crossed out that your name and reprinted it underneath it. You just have to initial next to it.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places where we write none.
Mm-hmm.
You'll need to sign your name right there. Now, you got a little bit higher, okay? You sign below that, right there. Okay? See, that's Paul's line that you sign on. You sign on this next line. You just mark Paul's out
That's fine.
and then Ann's out there. Okay, that's good. All right.
Okay.
You sign on the line above it, Paul.
Okay, thank you. All right, and so I have one marital status affidavit. I'm seeing if there's a second one in here. I'll just put that to the side until I determine whether or not there's two. But we'll do the payoff first. This payoff is just saying that the title company is going to pay off everything tied to the property. So if there's taxes, a mortgage, HOAs, any type of liens, they're going to pay that off first, and then you get whatever's left over.
Why don't you go ahead and sign first, right up there, and that way. Ann only have one line she needs to sign on. Okay, there you go, Ann. Sign your name right there,
Yes, sir.
and then you put your initials beside the change on the spelling.
All right, and so this is a tax agreement between you and the buyers. It's just saying that you're gonna pay taxes up until January 1st until today. The buyers will pay taxes from tomorrow until the end of the year.
And your full name right there, Paul. In other words, the taxes are prorated. Sign the top line there, Paul.
Oh, I need to.
Okay. And then you get to sign right there and initial, do the name change. Okay.
Okay. And so these are some disclosures from the title company. You're only going to initial on two of them as the seller. The first one down here at the bottom is just saying that the title company will only use title insurance that's on your contract. So that's the only type of title insurance that will apply for the transaction.
So Paul, put your initials on the top line over here.
Ah,
And put your initials just below Paul's.
Right here?
Mm-hmm.
Up above it. See, right there. See where my shadow ends? See where the shadow ends? It's on that line just below the shadow, okay?
Well, there's something already, his,
Yeah, Paul's is there. Where you had your pen, right there, just put AEC.
on the next line.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and this is tax prorations. So again, just saying that you're going to be responsible for the taxes from January 1st until today. The buyer will be tomorrow until the end of the year.
So they've already figured that out in your closing statement, okay?
So you're going to initial your first before you sign down at the bottom.
Yeah. Put your initials right up here. And then just go ahead and sign down here, Paul.
oh,
And And put your initials just below Paul's, that way you go ahead and sign right there. Yeah, put your initials by, sign your name there. Go ahead, I'll keep interrupting you. You're going in the opposite direction from where I was going.
She probably has like a flow now, so.
So you need to put your initials right up here. Just below Paul's. There we go.
Perfect. All right, so this is errors and omissions. If there is something wrong with the documents, like how your name is misspelled, they'll make needed corrections on pages that it applies to. They'll reach out to you before they make any changes that you don't know about.
So you'll sign your name right there, Paul. Like if we miss one of those misspelled names somewhere and it causes a problem, then you'll agree to sign the paperwork to change the misspelled name, okay? Okay. And you go right there below Paul's, and then you put your initials by Ann.
All right, so this is your 1099. It's another tax form. Some income taxes next year. They'll report any income to the IRS. You just have to fill this out. So you're going to print your first name, middle initial, last name. I need a social security number here, and then the spouse. So who's first? Is it Paul or Ann? Paul, you're going to be at the top, and then Ann, you'll be the spouse.
So I'll fill it in for him.
Okay, thanks. And I just need the middle initial, not like this.
Yeah.
So.
So, and this is social security number again?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, you don't have to write it on there. I'll just let them know that you don't want to provide it. But I think I've already sent his social security number to the title company.
Well, I've asked them to dispose of it.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
Transfers.
We already signed that.
That was the first thing that we signed.
So you'll sign right down there, Paul, right there.
Yeah, that was the first document where I have to witness, where he had to witness your signature and I had to notarize him witnessing your signature.
And then you just sign here because your name's not misspelled on this page. You don't have to initial it.
I'm just a spouse.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And Edens, E-D-E-N-S, right?
Mm-hmm.
I spelled it right. See? This doesn't have a date on it, but I'll show you that.
Okay. And this is just saying that you have a remote notary. You didn't go to the title company to close out your transaction.
Okay. So you'll sign up here on the top line, Paul, and Ann will sign below that and initial to Ann. I'm gonna go borrow your restroom for a minute, okay? I shall return. Still down the hall, and to the right, you didn't move it?
Nope.
Okay,
Yeah, we're almost done. I think we have like 2 more documents.
okay, so, but my clock won't wait.
I don't know whether it was flush or not. Don't worry about it.
All right. And then, Miss Ann, I crossed out your name on that one as well, so you'll just have the initial when you sign. And this is contact details. So do you all have an email address that you've been corresponding with, or do you just
No,
no email? Did you preview the documents or anything before I came?
no.
They never sent you. Okay, so they like to send the signed copy of your documents to an email. Do you want to use your attorney's email address, maybe? So that way he has a
You
copy.
have to ask him.
Okay, we'll ask for his permission. But if you want to at least put your phone numbers down, so that way they can contact you if they need to get a hold of you.
They know well, they've got that. Where do you want to put it?
On the form. So you're going to be at the bottom, just one of the phone number options. I would put a number in, whoever's number is best.
Who is they?
The title company.
They got my telephone number.
Okay, so just write it down on phone 1.
Why do they do that?
So they can have it on paper. I mean, let's say one person does have your number. It could be on her computer, and let's say she's out next week.
Okay. Put my number down. What else you got? Are we through?
Almost.
There's so many.
I need to check to see if this is the only marital status affidavit. I just have one for you, Ann. I don't have one for Paul. That's usually not a big deal, but I'm gonna check my documents and just kind of let her know ahead of time before I go back to drop them off. And then this one here is how you want your money. So I'm assuming y'all want a check mailed to you, or do you want it wired?
Gonna overnight it.
They're gonna overnight it? Okay, so okay, well, let him finish that in. For their email address, would it be an issue to use your email for their documents?
They don't need to do that.
You don't want a signed copy of your documents at all?
No, but they can mail them to me.
So you want okay, so I'll just make a note that you want your documents mailed to you.
Yeah, just have them
Yeah,
mailed.
they just don't typically do that. I don't want you to wait around.
What do you want to do?
I mean, just make a note, please mail to my home address. Yeah, I'll write it in. Okay, so I'm gonna check my documents to see if they sent me another marital status affidavit. This is the only one I have, and this one is for you. You're gonna fill in the top portion. I am married to Paul. Have been continuously married since. It can just be month and year. It doesn't have to be anything, or even just year, really. Right here on number 4, you're just gonna put in where you lived the last 10 years. If it's just this address that we're at now, that's fine. And then you'll sign at the bottom.
You need help?
Mm-hmm. What year are we married?
So I am the owner,
96.
just as we mark out borrower,
What?
96.
No, just, yeah.
and then we're gonna mark out the E, or I'll just put Ann, A-N.
All right, and so this is how you want your money. You said you want it overnighted. So just put in your mailing address, or you can put in their mailing address for them. And then
See, I put my address down here, right, Ann?
No, you can't have it.
I can't have it. Oh, Paul, you let me put my address in? Okay.
all right, so congratulations, guys. That's it.
Okay, call her. You got her
Let me see.
cell phone?
Yeah. So I'm back. I just finished signing those sellers, and I promised I was not going to disappoint. She was actually a lot nicer today than she was on Tuesday when I came out there the first time. I think because the attorney was there to kind of like, kind of soften her a little bit or settle her down, or I think she realized, hey, I'm probably going to get my money for selling this property. So she was a lot nicer today than she was on Tuesday. Tuesday, she was a piece of work. But you can see kind of how aggressive she was, and I'm not going to sign. I'm not going to provide. Truth be told, she forgot that she gave me her social security card when I came there on Tuesday. So I'm just going to take those numbers from the email that I sent to the title company and just fill in that document. That's why I didn't argue with her when she said she's not going to do something. Okay, ma'am, you don't have to. I already have it anyway. I'll just fill it in for you. Because I have to submit it, and it has to be submitted, completed. And that's just that. So, yeah, these are very typical of investor transactions. They are not easygoing. They are worth every bit of the $150 that I charge for them. And do not sell yourself short. They're easier to do because they're smaller packets. It did take a little bit longer than expected. I gave myself an hour. I knew it was going to take about an hour. And they had their attorney there with them. So I was very grateful for that because he was there to kind of mediate and explain things after I already explained it to them. Sometimes they just need that extra reassurance that it's okay to do something. Excuse me. B, it did kind of slow it down because he was so busy trying to understand what they were about to sign. He did kind of slow things down a little bit. So, but that's fine. I don't care. I just wanted it done. And based on the fact that they were a little older, I just knew it wasn't going to be a 20-30 minute appointment. I knew this was going to take about an hour. So yes, it's worth every bit of $150 for even small seller packets, because you're going to have to work for them, and you're going to have to temper some emotions and expectations with some of these signers. And unfortunately, this is not a random case. I deal with a lot of very weird, very just strange interactions, because about 75% of my transactions are through investors. So that's one side of being a mobile notary, a loan signing agent that does real estate transactions, is the investor side. I do like the refinance side, but I love the investor side. It's so much better. Even when I came in, but yeah, this one was an interesting one. I'm glad I caught it on camera, and I'm glad I can show you what my day-to-day actions are with investor properties for real estate transactions. Thanks. Bye.